So this is a video a few of you have asked for about my panic and my anxiety and what I've been going through. Just as a quick warning, it is going to be a long video, so yeah, be warned, and I might ramble on a bit, but a few people have asked for it, so it's mainly for them. And just as a precursor, I'm not looking for sympathy. I don't. That's not what I'm going for. It's just explaining my case. So, bit of background about it. All throughout my life, I've been big. Always have done. I always thought I was big. It's not till recently I realised that when I was a teenager, I wasn't that big. It's since I moved out of home that I've got fat. But at that time, I did think I was big. So I probably had some hang-ups there, the usual body image hang-ups that people have. But yeah, I met Ellie when I was 15, I'm now 23, we've been together since, so I kind of went from being at home where you have your parents and your friends to being with Ellie, so I never had that bit in between on my own where I was worried that people didn't like me and all that kind of shit. So I've always had someone there that supports me. I started university 2 years ago, and basically the first year I thoroughly enjoyed it. I studied business and marketing. The idea is to get a degree, and first year loved it, thrived, and I got nearly straight distinctions. So in case you don't know, I don't know what it's like in other countries. So you can pass. You say it's 100 marks per piece of work. Say if you get 50%, you pass it. If you get between 50 and 65%, you get a merit, and 65% up is a distinction. So if you pass, that's great, it's a pass. You can still get your certificate on passes, but you need distinctions are the highest you can get. So I went through the first year nearly straight distinctions, loving the work, really enjoyed it. I was getting over phobias like doing presentations. I did 3 presentations in the year, they all got distinctions, and it's something I always thought I was rubbish at. Started to really enjoy it. Now the premise of the course was you do 2 years, and if you get a merit profile, which means overall out of the 12, sorry about the background noise, the 12 modules, if I get a merit profile, which means 6 out of the 12 are merit, I pass with merits, then I can do the 3rd year, which is a top up, and I'll get my degree. So that's fine. So I thought, right, I've gone through the first year with nearly straight distinctions, so if that's taken the pressure off me for the 2nd year, so the 2nd year, which I assume would be harder, and it was, if I don't do as well in that, I've still got the 1st year to back me up. Started the 2nd year, the guy who does the 3rd year comes in and straightforward says, the marks from your 1st year mean nothing, you need the straight merits in the 2nd year or you won't get onto the 3rd year. And that basically screwed me up. It properly, I mean, the only way to say it is it broke my heart, basically, because I put so much effort into this 1st year, never worked so hard, was so proud of myself, and to have someone come in and say it meant nothing. That happened around January, the start of this year, and I can, it's the only thing I can identify as finally tipping me over into the panic and the anxiety. It's still hard for me to talk about, to be fair, because it hurt me that badly. And on top of some other things, like my dad cheated on my mum not that long ago, and I was the one that found out about it. And then my mum got cancer a few years after that. She survived it, but still, that never really affected me, because it's kind of like I got told she had cancer, and I was like, well, I'm not going to get upset because she's not dead. So, and it can be operated on, so there's no point in getting upset. So yeah, basically that on top of just daily stress, and then the thing with the uni, I think kind of just tipped me over the edge, and I developed panic attacks and anxiety, which then developed into a few weeks of deep depression and mild agoraphobia. I don't know which ones to tackle first. I'll talk about them from weakest to the strongest. So the weakest first is the mild agoraphobia. I say mild because I can go outside with Ellie. And it's not so much a fear. Agoraphobia is a fear of being outside in big open spaces, and not so much a fear of the open spaces or being outside itself. It's a fear of what could happen to me outside on my own. If I have a panic attack, and then what's going to happen if I'm on my own? So the way I've been working on that is with the walking. It's slowly expanding my area that I feel comfortable walking. And we did it the other day. I did a mile walk, and we went to a bridge over there, and I've always wanted to go over this bridge. And before this started, I used to walk 3 miles a day to uni and back, so when I was heavier. So it's all illogical, it's all to do with the panic. But yeah, so I got to the bridge, and we went as far as the trees finished on the bridge, because the bridge starts on ground and then goes over water. And the panic happened, I got really panicky, my chest got tight, it was hard to catch a deep breath, my vision gets closed. So we stood there for 5 minutes and just took it in and then left, and that's huge. And the thing is, normally there's a park just before the bridge that I usually walk around, and the park is where I get panicky. But now, since I've gone that a little bit further on the bridge, the panic of the park's gone. So I'm comfortable with the park now, because the bridge is where the panic is. So the next day we did the walk again, and I went to the lamppost past where the trees ended. And it was fine the next day, because there were different conditions. I had a good night's sleep, it was raining, it was cold, I wasn't worried. I stayed there for 10 minutes and there was no panic, I could breathe fine, my heart rate was all good. So yeah, that's how I've got to expand it. And I think in maybe a month or a month's time, I might be able to get over the bridge. And woo! Yeah, so that's the agoraphobic part. I can go out with Ellie easily, really simply. So yeah, the depression part, it's not depression, it's like it's not like this, but you know when you get teenagers and they moan their parents never let them do what they want and they're so depressed, and that's just teenage angst, that's not depression. For a few weeks I had proper depression, I couldn't get out of bed, I had no energy for anything, I had no interest in anything. My big thing, as I've said before, was DVDs. I didn't want to watch movies, even my favourite movies I didn't want to watch. I didn't want to talk to anyone, I didn't want to do anything, and I think, 3 days I didn't get out of bed. Didn't want to eat, suicidal thoughts, all that kind of stuff, and that's gone. That went over. I mean, I very quickly said to myself, look, what are you going on about? Blah blah blah, you're being ridiculous. Life's there to be lived and all that stuff, and blah blah blah, blah. You can beat this, it's all in your head. So yeah, I got over that very quickly. See, this is making me feel slightly panicky talking about it, but it's good, I've got to get it out there. So that's the mild agoraphobia and the depression side of it, and reasons why. I'll do the next part of the video now that's all about my anxiety and my panic attacks. Okay, cheers guys, bye.